heard the longevity numbers, about 35.5 years. That was the average life expectancy. Women were even less because many died in childbirth. There was just tremendous poverty, bone crushing. And now, completely different, as you've heard. I mean, you have, and you know, this idea that it's somehow kept a secret. There was over 30 million tourists last year, bringing in over 30 billion renminbi in terms of revenues and things like that. So it's really completely changed. Literacy is now almost 100%. Just some elderly didn't learn. They're still pushing Tibetan languages and everything like that, and culture, and over half the land is in conservancy for future.
So let's talk about specific ways poverty was lowered. What do people do for employment? How is it managed to keep the number of people living in poverty lower? And people now have better access to schools, running water, and hospitals.
Well, you need infrastructure, Sean, and now, as you heard, everything is connected. This was an agricultural area and a very difficult one. So what China has done is made it into a tourism and things, and they're supplying the energy that is necessary to do that so that you can have small handicrafts and factories and things like that. They have a huge hydroelectric dam that's going up on a nearby river. It's going to be able to literally 3 times the amount of electricity that the Yellow River Dam creates. That's the world's largest currently. So they are pushing it along. And it is a combination of education and infrastructure. And really, you have to judge it by what has been accomplished.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago, I spent about 2 weeks up there. And let's talk about some of the key sectors that contribute to this turnaround, because it's so colorful, so peaceful, and really does rely on tourism. Talk about how welcoming the people are in Lhasa, and also when you get out to the outlying areas, just the water coming down from glacial areas is pristine, and it's really unlike any other place I've ever been to in my life.
Well, yeah, I haven't had the the pleasure of going. I don't do well with those kind of heights. I've been to places that are approximately that is, but I've had many friends like yourself who've gone there. It's a beautiful natural wonder, but it is also a very harsh environment. And to carve out a living and to make it a place where people wanted to go is not something that just happened. I mean, people just don't understand. When they say they didn't have any roads, there were just 2 ruts in you know in the dirt, basically going across. Now you have real highways. You couldn't have gotten to the places that you talked about without getting on a donkey and traveling for weeks. Now you can do it in a matter of hours. So things have really changed, and the issue is how the government approaches each area. And throughout the world, you have places that are rust belts, you have places where there was natural beauty. What has the government done to make that into an economically viable place? And China has really kind of blazed a path. And it's not just about breakneck development. As I was alluding to earlier, over half the entire land is in ecological preservation for the future. It's a very, very delicate ecosystem, and they want to preserve that. How many countries have done that? So China is showcasing what you can do with a very barren land, with people who were really on their back foot in terms of economic opportunity and things like this. And they've changed it into a showcase where people, as I said, over 30 million people go there.
Indeed. And next time I'm in China, Einar, I'm going to get you on a plane and get you up there.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate your insight.